Okay, can we just get on with it? Hey everybody, I hope you are enjoying your day. I'm out running some errands, so I thought I would just come on live and share some thoughts as we ride along. I know it was very snowy where I'm at. How is it in your neck of the woods? And quite frankly, I hope we've seen the, I hope we've seen the last of the snow. It has not been snowing here for a while. And now all of a sudden,
in 200 feet,
when I was
right
just about to take my trip down to Virginia Beach, all of a sudden I had to cancel.
Right onto East Westmoreland Street.
Because it snowed and I'm not going to be driving out of town in the snow. Basically, yeah, you guys saw the title of this live. Basically, I'm going to touch on that. Give me a chance. Like, gosh.
In a quarter mile,
I'm sorry.
turn left onto Collins Street.
Some rude person beeping at me because I didn't pull out fast enough. I'm a very careful driver. I do not get into car accidents. But no, like, I wanted to talk about the color purple. We've touched base on basis. I've touched bases on that a couple of times. I mean, none of us would like it. Let's say you have a beauty salon and you put all this money into the salon. You're, there's high expectations, and one of your stylists started running around, trashing it and doing something that could cause the launch to tank. That's basically what Taraji did.
In 800 feet, turn left onto East Allegheny Avenue.
Now she has a lot of and she received backlash. When she first did it, so many people were supporting her, but then when it really sank in what she did and the ramifications of what she did,
then your destination,
her kamikaze in herself and her career, because these people didn't put all this money in this film just so they can not even break even. People aren't investing in people are not investing millions of dollars into a project just so they could come out not making a profit off of it, right?
Your destination is on the right.
And so when she tanked it the way she did and came out with her emotional moment the way she did, people responded. A lot of people responded, oh, we're going to boycott the movie. And now she's upset because she's like, no, don't nobody boycott the movie. Oprah's great. Oprah's, oh hell, Oprah. And unfortunately, people aren't getting that message. And the reason why I titled this live the way I did is, when it comes to Black people, we tend to sabotage ourselves. We're human. Of course, we're going to have disagreements and this and that and so forth and so on. But while you're trying to promote a movie, that's not the time to torpedo the project. Like, what on earth are you thinking, lady? Let me open up this panoramic. I'm going to take it all the way back because I look like a shadow. Okay. My thing is, we've got to, and I say we because I'm Black, but I don't do stuff like this. um, you've got to stop plantation beefing and fighting. And when you have a black billionaire or a black millionaire or even a person in your family who's super successful or a friend that's super successful, everybody has ideas of what they should be doing, what they should be spending their money on, how they could help the family, how they could help the community. And my thing is, you don't have the right to demand or get angry when someone doesn't help in the way that you think that they should help. If you think, why wait till The Color Purple to advocate for this? You've been in Hollywood for decades. Monique kicked it off and set it off. Why didn't Black Hollywood come and continue the fight? You know what I mean? Why now? And I know people have certain issues with Oprah, and I get what people are saying is, that's their opinion. But you can't force someone to advocate in the way that you want them to advocate and do what you think that they should do. And Oprah should say this, and Oprah should do that, and she should take her money and do this with it, and she should take her money and do that with it. My problem is, we as Black people are always waiting for a Messiah, and that's what we have been trained to that's what we've been trained to want. We want that one person to come along and save the day. That's not going to happen unless it is God himself. There is not one person that's going to come along and save the day. We as a community have to uplift ourselves. So when you are trying to torpedo that Black-owned business in your community, when you are not going to the Black beauty salon, the beauty supply store because it's Black-owned, you'd rather buy from. I've heard Black people say, I'd rather go to the white realtor, or I'd rather go to the Asians to get my nails done. You want to spend your money and resources with people that are not Black. You want to do that. And the reason that Black people are like that is because of segregation, where you were told you can't come in here. You can't come in here. And they don't want, and now that when before segregation, we had to shop with each other. We had to go buy the Black book when we would travel out of town to find Black friendly establishments. Now that segregation, which it should have been lifted, you should have the right to go wherever you want. But it's like, oh, I want to give them my money because now I can shop with them. That mentality that has been passed down, because obviously you're going to pick up the attitudes and mindsets of the people that raised you. That attitude, oh, I can sit in this white establishment now and I can give this white person my money and sit here and eat. There was a time when I was working, when I was a very young woman, and I was working somewhere, and, it was a lot of Black people working at this particular facility. But when you leave the facility and go out of that facility into the boroughs of what was around there, it was just all white. And I didn't bring my lunch. I had wanted to go and get something for lunch, and I had went into this place, and they kept serving all the white people and looking at me and turning their head and looking at me and turning their head. And I'm just patiently waiting there, and I know that they've made eye contact with me, nod my head, let them know I'm ready. And they looking at me and turning their head, and I said, other white people would come in, they would serve them, and I would continue to be standing there. So I just said, oh, I see what's going on. And so I said out loud to them, I said, oh, I see. I said, thank you. I said, thank you for not taking my money. I'm not like I don't know what you heard about other people that look like me, but I'm not dying to give you my money. I don't want you to make my food if you don't like Black people Thank you for not taking my money. And, you know, then one of the white guys looked at me and smiled and nodded his head. And I just went on and turned around and left, because at the end of the day, we as black people need to stop. Oh, the white people aren't paying us enough in Hollywood. Oh, the white people aren't giving us, oh, the white people aren't giving us that. We have so much money within our own communities that we should not, at this day and age, keep running out talking about what the white people aren't giving or us or paying us. Yes, if you work, no matter who you work for, it should be fair. But at the same time, you know, to zero in on Oprah because she's personally a billionaire and say, well, I've been in the business so many years, and the math not mathing, and I don't have this and I don't have that. Well, maybe there's something that you're not doing right. Maybe there's something you're doing wrong. And a lot of times we will tolerate a successful black person in our atmosphere because you think you could be like that person. You think somehow you could be like that person. And I know that sometimes people think that there's a formula or a blueprint. Oh, I'm gonna study this person and I'm gonna do exactly, I'm gonna try to make all the moves they made, and I think I'm gonna have the same outcome. You're not necessarily gonna have the same outcome because maybe it's not meant for you. You know, maybe you're not meant to be a billionaire. Maybe you're meant to just live comfortably off of for $500,000 a year, or maybe 70,000 a year. Everybody isn't going to have the same level of success. They're just not. So when a lot of people are attacking Oprah, some of that, in my opinion, is just plain old jealousy. You can't tell Oprah how to think, how to feel, what to do. You're giving your opinion, but your opinion doesn't mean that it's right. You know, so everybody's swarming on Oprah and torpedoing the color purple. Some people are like, I don't care about the color purple. I wasn't going to go see it anyway. But just the bottom line is, you know, we've got to stop doing that to each other, because it doesn't just happen in Hollywood. It happens so much on the micro levels in our community, and that's why we as a people have not advanced as much as we should have with all of the freedoms and opportunities that we have in this country. And that's just the truth. You're too busy. How many of you out there have somebody on the job that's trying to run you off the job, that's trying to give you a hard time and run you out of your income off the job? You know, so it's how many people see someone who black-owned business and they, oh, I don't want to go in there. Don't go in there. Well, they'll go in there and start bad-mouthing it, or, you know, they'll try to sue or something like that. I mean, you know, we pretty much do it to ourselves. So now that the movie isn't doing what was expected, Taraji wants to lash out at everybody because they're saying that we're trying to pit her and Oprah against each other. She didn't suggest that we boycott the film. Different things like that. Allegedly, she's supposed to be saying these things. Vivica came out and said, oh, well, I don't have those issues with Hollywood. People are angry that she's not becoming a Monique running around complaining about Hollywood and different things like that. And, you know, it's like, just because you want to throw a rock and fight don't mean that you're going to force everybody else to pick up a stone and start throwing rocks. You know, maybe things are working out for this one doesn't mean that it's going to be the same for you. Or if it's not working out for you, doesn't mean that it's not going to work out for everybody. But my problem is you have so many of us in the community, and I'm going to be cutting this short because I have things to do. And so do you. But, you know, I've seen so many black people, especially black women, because obviously I'm a woman. I have more experience with what women are doing. I'm sure it's not any different from with these black men, but black men tend to do business with each other a little bit more than black women. But I've seen so many black people, especially women, will cut their nose off to spite their face. I've known people who say, well, I don't want to do it because she's going to get some benefit out of it. So they'll just torpedo the whole project. But it's like, but you're going to be getting something out of it too. They don't care. If they see you getting something out of it, they'd rather it all burn to the ground just so they won't see you make it, just so they won't see you successful. They don't want you to eat, and it's too much jealousy and envy. I was reflecting, and I'll wrap it up with this. I was reflecting of how black people ended up in America from slave ships. And what is it about us culturally from Africa that needs to be corrected that would allow this? I know people want to think that white people came with a big net and just captured black people against their will. And a lot of that did happen, don't get me wrong. But there were a lot of black people that were sold into slavery from other people in Africa. And I look at Africa today, you see, have a lot of countries that don't have proper infrastructure. You have the Chinese and Russians about to go over there and eat their lunch after all the colonizations. They're still allowing Russia and China to come in there and do stuff. It's like, as a people, we need to learn something morally. And I think that we need to stop hating on each other, because if we stop doing that, we would be a lot further than what we are as black people. You have all these people, now that the border is open the way it is, black people, they may have been the second largest ethnic group in the country. Well, we're sliding down to the bottom because obviously you're letting all these people in from South American countries come in. And of course, they're going to do what people do. They're going to have children. So we're becoming a more and more minor player in the game in this country. And once these people have children and get their citizenship and be able to vote, we as black people, we're not going to have any power in this country. But you look at people that are small ethnic groups in certain regions or countries, but they still have power. It's because they are connected, they are organized, they're on code, they're in formation about the survival. You have people on the job, and I know some of you out there who are listening, people on the job, they don't think twice about trying to run you off the job. They don't give a damn if you got kids to take care of. They don't give a damn. They will play all kinds of nonsense, run you off the job. Somebody don't give a darn how much you invested in your business. They're going to try to torpedo your business or cause you to lose your license or whatever. We go through too much of that stuff. So Taraji, as far as I'm concerned, you wanting to speak up for black people and stuff in Hollywood not getting paid a lot, is it really about black people not getting paid a lot, or is it just about you? Because when Monique said all of this, nobody really came to her rescue. Nobody came to her aid. But when Taraji came out and said all of this, everybody wants to be all up in Monique's face to get her comment. What can Monique say that she hasn't already said? I mean, this was years ago. If you wanted to pick up that fight, why didn't you pick it up back then? You weren't ready to pick it up back then. Is that the case? You weren't ready to pick it up back then? But you get to pick and choose. You people out there want to pick and choose when somebody like Oprah should pick up a fight that you want her to pick up in the way in which you want her to pick it up. And it all boils down to money. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Comment below if you're so motivated to do so. Peace.